If you want to learn how to drop in, then just stick around because this video is for you. So the drop-in is one of the first major milestones that many new skaters are going to come across. As a new skater, you're going to have to find a way to defeat this and overcome it if you want to continue through skating. So sadly, many don't. Many do end up going down on their first attempt of the drop-in. They don't get back up, they don't try again, and as a consequence, they will actually end up quitting skateboarding. So this is actually what happened to me, funnily enough, my first time. I grew up skateboarding in a place called Blantyre Skate Park in Scotland. We had something called the Mini Bowl, so it was like a 1 foot ramp with coping on it, basically a bank. On this particular day, when my first days in the park, I went in and there's a crowd of kids all dropping into the mini bowl, and as someone falls, everyone else gathers up, tries to snake each other, puts their boards down and drops in. I seen this happen and I thought to myself, you know, I could do this, like whatever. The next kid who fell, I pushed up in front of everyone, put my board down on the coping, no clue what I was doing, put my front foot on, went to push down and just fell back immediately. Just had all these kids sitting staring at me. Shortly after that, I quit skateboarding myself. I didn't continue on through skating. So I'm doing this trick tip to make sure that you guys don't end up quitting skateboarding. So just stick with this and I'm going to walk you through it. So before we start dropping in a ramp, we're going to make sure that we're comfortable on flat ground first. So that sounds kind of silly, but if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you're a total beginner, and if you can't do the drop in on flat ground, you've got no chance of going down a ramp or a quarter pipe. So set up your board on the flat ground, put your tail the whole way down and put your foot on it so it's sitting vertical. Hover your front foot over the front bolts, but just keep all your weight on your back foot for now. Make sure your toes are pointing off to the side of the board and not facing forward. So it's here that we're going to execute the most important part of the drop-in. All your weight off the back foot, put it onto the front foot. That's going to allow your front wheels to touch the surface and you're going to start rolling. When your front wheels touch the deck, remember and keep your weight centered so you're not going to fall off. Okay, so assuming you've got the hang of that, it's time to try it on a bank, kind of like this one. Try and start on the most mellow bank you can find before you start moving to something steeper. Set up your board anywhere on the bank that you feel comfortable. Remember, the lower you are, the easier this is going to be. Once again, set up your board with your back foot on the tail. Be careful to keep all your weight on the back foot as you take your front foot and hover over the front bolts, keeping a slight knee bend. When you're confident your feet are in position, commit to the drop-in by putting all your weight on your front foot. This will bring your tail off the ground while allowing your front wheels to touch the surface, causing you to start rolling. As you're going down, remember and keep a slight knee bend and have your toes facing towards the side and not in front of you. Stay committed and avoid taking your feet off as you're more likely to get hurt. Also, a top tip, be mindful not to manual down. If you manual down, it's a sure sign that you're not putting enough weight on that front foot. So once you've got that down, we can start taking it to a quarter pipe. If you really want, you can take what we learned on the bank and start moving up inch by inch on the quarter pipe, but chances are you're not going to be able to do that, as eventually you're going to hit a point that you can't stand up. Stand on the deck and put your tail on the coping with your back wheels hanging off. Remember and keep all your weight on the back foot as you gently place the front foot over the front bolts. Have your toes sideways and bend those knees. So now for the scariest part, this is where we commit to the drop-in. This is where most people fail because they can't put the right amount of weight over the front foot. So my advice for this is just count down from 3. So 3, 2, 1, and then on 1, just go. Don't think, just go. The longer that you hesitate on top, the harder this is going to be for you. So once you count down from 3, put all your weight over that front foot and stomp those front wheels down. Avoid taking your feet off as it could end up as a disaster, causing you to get injured. And that's how you do the drop-in. As you can tell, there's not actually a lot to this trick. Pretty much it's a bit of mind over matter when it comes to this. If you just go 3, 2, 1 and fully commit, like 100%, lean over that front foot, like stomp that front foot down, you're going to roll out. Most people who fail this, it's purely because they don't lean over that front foot. They fall back, the fear sets in, and they don't try again. So don't become one of those people, okay? 3, 2, 1, and commit.